Welcome YouTube. Hi, this is Jason here to review my new Lunicycle X1 mountain bike. Basically, great bike, got it yesterday, put it together. First thing I did was put on a new chain ring, a little larger chain, give me a little bit more speed. Be honest, I don't know how much it's going to help except when I'm going on the road to get to the trail. On the trail, I don't think it makes much of a difference. Bike's great. If you want something to compare it to, I've got two other bikes to compare it to. First, I have a 27 speed with a BBHD motor from Lunicycle on it, and I also have a Sur-Ron electric dirt bike from Lunicycle as well. Basically, let's compare it to the BBHD that I have. Great bike also, but it didn't have quite the power that this thing does. It was a little bit quieter, but not much. Everybody talks about the loudness of this thing online. If you've had electric bikes, yeah, it felt like all of them. It's not bad at all. As for getting that plastic gear to make it quieter, maybe, but everything I've listened to when I was listening to YouTube and everything before I bought it, I couldn't come up with a reason to pay it. It looks like a pain in the butt to put in. That was going to slow my delivery down even more. I just didn't think it was worth it. So, but I did think it was worth doing the larger chain ring, so I did that. It was about 30 on the street now, so not bad, not awesome. That's a little bit faster than my BBHD did, and if you compare it to my Sur-Ron dirt bike, granted it's a whole lot bigger beast. That'll go about 48. So comparing the two, it's kind of right in the middle. Sur-Ron's got a little bit more power than this does. The BBHD had a little less power. So it's really right in the middle. As for electric bikes, I've ridden the Levo by Specialized. I've ridden a few others out there. All great bikes, no real qualms with them except they don't have a whole lot of power, and they're expensive as all get out. It's insane. So I went this route, pretty happy with it. It's got some flaws to it though. Let's start out on some of them. Basically, the pedals aren't that great. They're platforms, but they're big, and anytime you make it, even on my street, when I made a turn and I'm pedaling, it's going to scrape. So that's probably going to need a smaller pedal. Part of the reason that is because these crank arms are so long. I've got scuff marks all over it from where I hit rocks and stuff like that when I rode it yesterday on my trail. Besides that, they're okay. You know, I would upgrade to a better pedal. If new crank arms come out that are a little bit shorter, I'm going to upgrade to that too. Maybe even make the bike a little lighter. If that happens, great. If not, it's not the end of the world. Thing I hate the most on this bike is the seat. You might as well have concrete here. So maybe some people like a really hard seat. I've got a few extra pounds on me. I'm older. I kind of like to be comfortable. This is not it. So that'll be the first thing I get rid of, or I should say, it'll be the next thing I get rid of. So basically after that, everything's pretty good. Only other gripe that I have with the bike are the display here is very small. Other people have talked about this as well. I found that it's hard to see, especially when you're going fast. You're trying to watch your trail, get your line right, things like that. It's just hard to look at. So I have a Garmin here. I probably use it more than I do that just because I can put everything really big and it's easy to see even in bright or dark. So that works out a little better for me. Might be something you care about, might not care. I will say this, when I was riding it yesterday, it came out of the box with 75% charge. So I just took it out. I did 5 miles of single track, had lots of hills on it, lots of berms, lots of rocks, lots of roots. It's a nice trail. So doing a lot of ups and downs on pretty good grade hills. I did 5 miles, it got down to 15%. So I'm pretty stoked about it because for it to have gone that well and me not have charged it and it just coming out of the box, I felt pretty good about that. I will say when I got down to about 20% of the battery, it loses a lot of power. It still works, but it's like it has a power reserve mode. It's like an efficiency thing that just automatically takes over. So you'll end up cranking the gears. I stayed in 6 almost all day. I had level 3 assist. It rocked at that for just about anything I wanted to climb. Going down, well, it's so heavy, man, this thing flies downhill, so no problem there. But yeah, it did well until it got down to that about 20%. I got it all the way down to 15%, just to kind of give you an idea. My BBHD, 52 volt, that bad boy would take about 5 to 7 hours to charge it all the way up, and I have a special charger that charges it quicker, but it still took that long. My Sur-Ron takes about 7 hours to charge. I charged just about an hour and a half, and it got up to 80% from 15%. It took 3.5 hours to get it all the way to where it didn't need to charge anymore and got up to the 100%. So really fast charging. Pretty impressed. One of the issues that I ran into on the trail, and I think it's just a matter of getting used to compared to my other bikes that I've told you about, is unfortunately I'm not the greatest rider. I carry a little extra heft, part of being in your 50s, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I had a few falls, and part of it's just not being used to this bike. Part of it's I'm a sucky rider. Anyway, when getting back on, I put my foot on the pedal, the thing would just take off. I mean, it was just almost impossible you have to really be careful because it's got such a sensitive assist. So as soon as you put your foot on it and gives it any torque, it's going to go. So you better be getting pretty far on that bike, or else you're going to be doing it over and over again until you get it right. So I think that's something to get used to. We'll see. It also, in the computer here, you can adjust how much assist goes. Not like levels of 1 through 5, or you can also set it to 1 to 3 and set it to 1 to 9. I've still got mine on the regular, but how sensitive the assist is. So I've adjusted that. We'll see today when I ride. I'm planning on riding this thing every day as long as the pandemic's going on and everybody's gonna stay home. I might as well just go out and ride every day. So has tons of torque. I didn't have any hill, any grade, and I took some pretty good grade hills that had problems. I would go over rocks, I'd go over roots. It took it. Pretty impressed with the bike. It's stable. I just complained about the assist level, but now I'm going to turn around and say, man, it works better than anything else that I've ridden by Luna. It's very sensitive. When you're going up a big grade and you're going over a log while going up the grade, this thing took it. I was impressed, and I was in a lot of mud. The wheels are Maxxis. They did great. I really had very little spin out or anything like that. It just did a good job. It's big. It takes up a whole platform bike rack on it, so it kind of gives you comparison. My Sur-Ron has 19-inch wheels, so they're smaller, but they're a little bit wider. The Sur-Ron takes the same amount of space to put on as this thing does, so I can put them both on my bike rack. The Sur-Ron obviously is 90 pounds, a little bit harder to heft up there. This is every bit of 55 pounds, but it's really not that bad. If you have a trunk that's got a trunk mounted bike rack on it that's sitting on the trunk itself, I don't know if I do that. Probably going to bend your trunk a little bit. I mean, 55 pounds to go over a bump is going to put a lot of torque down on that trunk. To each his own. But besides that, change your seat, probably change your pedals, chain ring if you want to go faster. But yeah, love it. It's going to be a great bike. Hope you guys get one. Hope this was helpful.